Welcome back to Aura Genetics, the moment you've all been waiting for. Well, maybe not all of you, but most certainly me. We've got Anthony, we've got Jim. We promised everybody at home that we would let them know how my genetic test results came back. And thanks to you guys, it literally just took a matter of days. So thank you and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
You're welcome.
All right, Anthony was kind enough to walk me through a lot of the intricate details of what this says. You are not my doctor. I do want to make that known first and foremost. This is normally a conversation you don't get to have with Anthony, but rather your healthcare provider, correct?
Yeah, we do ask that, patients have their provider reach out to us. We can set up the provider as a prescriber of the test and then go through how to interpret the results if they're not already familiar with that.
When we're talking about interpreting results, now these are my results, and it reads a bit like a book, right, Jim? Like, this is a lot in here, and
There's a lot of good stuff in there.
there is really a lot of good stuff in here. I was a little surprised, and I think Fred was a little surprised too. But this test is not necessarily a new thing, but the vastness of this report, I think, is what is so interesting these days. So we're going from one panel to like my whole entire whatever I could possibly take, right?
That is true. That it's not a brand new test or a new technology, but like anything else, the technology improves, the science behind it, it increases. Now you can get the test that's more affordable, and instead of it taking a couple months, you can get it in a couple days or less than a week.
This is remarkable things. And we were going through some of it, and I'll just, you're gonna see video of my report, so don't go share it with all your friends and family, but nonetheless, some of when we get through to this part, we will see reds and greens and different columns of like yellow, green light. You can see some of the yellows and the reds and things like that. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm broken. It just means that this is how my body interprets certain medications.
Yeah, it's how your body metabolizes medication, and based on your genetics, you may want to, with of course your doctor's input, consider a different medication, and this report really helps the doctor understand your genetics and how your body is going to metabolize different medications.
We had talked about this part of my personal story that, for a long time it's like ibuprofen doesn't really help, or I had to take like the real Advil, and then I'd have to take a whole lot of it. And you, my friend, you went through here and you figured that out for me.
Well, I didn't figure it out, the test did. That's one of the things that we're pretty proud of. The results are very easy to understand, whether it's your provider, and then once you go over it with your provider, you get to keep your own results, and you get to keep it for a lifetime. So these results won't change. Aside from having a liver transplant, these results from birth to death will remain the same, how you metabolize. So it's a very interesting report, but as you said, the green, yellows, and reds.
Yeah, they mean something.
They mean something. It might need a little more, a little less of a dose, or change it up altogether.
There are so many, as I'm sitting here thinking, okay, like I know what my body and how it behaves, but to see this seems like something that a lot of people could benefit from.
Yep.
90% of the population has a genetic alteration that will affect their body's metabolism of medications.
90%
Yes.
of people out there are going to probably need to understand why certain things do or do not work.
Correct.
And that is a huge statement, and it just taken a second for me to process it, but like you had just mentioned, the changing of types of things. Just because we're in the red doesn't necessarily mean we're broken, but changing the procedure, if you will, to get the necessary outcome. And there are different kinds of drugs on here, from psych drugs to cancer drugs to all these different types of things that you could face at the course of your lifetime. You're looking at the blueprint. This is like what you need before you build a house.
I like to refer to it as a foundation.
This is amazing.
Yep.
This really is. Did you guys do it on yourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah? You? Did you do it on yourself?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay. What does yours
course.
say?
Pretty much a lot like yours.
Really?
There's always something in there that somebody can take a little more or should be taking a little less, but of course with your provider's help, they can guide you with whether you want to change all that together or just change the dose.
Did you make any changes after you saw this back, after you talked to your doctor?
I did.
Really?
He has a real story.
Yeah.
What happened?
So I do not metabolize statins properly, and so I actually don't take a statin anymore because of the results.
Oh my God, a whole entire drug class
Yep.
is taken out of your equation completely.
Correct.
Wow, that's unbelievable, Anthony. I didn't know that until we were just sitting here talking right now. For people that want to have more information, the best way, of course, is to visit the website, which is,
auragenetics.com, A-U-R-A genetics.com.
and then also to talk to your primary care physician or any of your healthcare providers on getting in contact with them, and then you can put this into your like fire safety box and keep it forever. Maybe frame it.
I don't know about framing it, but
You wanna
definitely,
frame it?
you definitely want to keep it forever.
Conversation piece.
It will be on our living room coffee table. This is so cool, you guys. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
And yes, I will be making my husband do this, whether he wants to or not.